Hi, this is Jana Zostek, Director of the Center for Professional Development at Indiana University Northwest School of Business and Economics. Going to talk to you today about business operations. This is part of the How to Write a Business Plan series. So, what are operations? What is the point of putting this in our business plan? Well, operations is a general term for describing how you provide goods and services to your customers. This is an extremely important part of your business plan because this is the part that is going to show the lender or the reader exactly what you hope to accomplish with your business. It's going to let them see and determine if this is a viable business idea. Now, this information is pertinent whether you are going to operate a factory, a home-based business, or an online site. So essentially, any business needs to outline how the business operations will take place. I've had people tell me, well, I'm an online store. I don't need to discuss operations. I don't need to worry about facility or location. But yes, you do. It's just a different way of thinking about those things. So as we go through this presentation, just keep in mind, regardless of the type of business you're starting, these are all things that you need to consider. Research and development. This topic lets the reader know how you plan to evolve, how you're going to, the product that you're going to launch your business with, and then how that product will evolve. Perhaps your plan is to create additional products as you go, or maybe your plan is to improve the product that you start with. But you need to describe this issue for the reader. Of course, you want to make sure that the information you're providing is non-proprietary. Tell the reader where you are currently with research and any proposed research, a timeline for when you plan to complete that research, and also where is your industry in terms of this research? Being able to point out where you are cutting edge and where you are different is extremely helpful. Along with this, you also want to discuss your intellectual property plans. So, are you applying for a patent? Have you already received a patent? So, list your current situation with intellectual property rights and your anticipated intellectual property rights. And definitely discuss how you plan to protect those rights. Because with intellectual property, if you don't protect it when it's infringed upon, then you will lose those rights. So that's a big deal to a lender or investor. What about the physical location? You want to provide as much information as you can about the physical location. Of course, city and state is helpful, but if you can get down to a specific address or neighborhood, that is even more helpful. And that also allows you then to be more aware of what the zoning and compliance issues are at that address. So the more specific you can be on physical location, the better. In addition, you may have multiple locations. So you may have a factory in one place, a distribution center in another, and a corporate office in yet another. So make sure that you think through all those possibilities and provide that information. In terms of the facilities, Here you want to talk about what are you putting in those buildings? What equipment do you need? What are your plans for obtaining that equipment? What are the tools that you're going to need? How will you plan and organize the business? So from a technology perspective, there are a lot of tools that help you plan and organize your business. Which of those tools have you selected to use and why? How will you access technology? How will you access other important systems within your facility? So perhaps electric, water, systems like that are important to determine how that will work at your facility. Inventory and production can become extremely complicated. So you want to have this thought out. Remember, with your business plan, you are conveying to the reader that you have thought through this entire business operations process, that you know what you're doing and you know how you're going to do it. So describe your manufacturing process. Describe the supplies you're going to need and how you are going to obtain them. What does your supply chain look like? If you have a problem at one point in your supply chain, how is that going to impact you and how are you going to work your way around it? You also want to talk about scaling production. So you may start off small in your garage, but as orders grow and you need a larger place for production, how is that going to happen? When orders exceed the facility, how will you deal with that situation? Describe the distribution channel. How are you going to get your product out into the marketplace? Then you also want to talk about the markups that will happen along the way. So as people become involved in your process, they will want money, and so your price will change as you go. And lastly, talk about your lead times. How long is it going to take you to produce your product from start to finish? Lead times impact your revenue stream, so you want to make sure that you're addressing how you can be as efficient as possible. We have another video in this series. Make sure you check that out on quality assurance, and that can help you, make sure that you're as efficient as possible. Risk management is another issue that you want to think about, want to demonstrate that you've thought about it. So, what type of insurance do you need for your business? And what's the cost of that? Look into that. What's the cost? What are the limits that are recommended? What laws are involved in this business? Human resource laws, getting into things like pay and Fair Labor Standards Act, those types of things. But then you may also have laws pertinent to what you plan to provide as a product or service. So for instance, if you are going to open a medical office, you'll have laws that pertain to how you provide medical care. Describe methods that you'll use to ensure that those laws are being followed. So how will you monitor and address problems with those types of laws? So we call this regulatory compliance. And also tax laws. How are you going to ensure that your business is following the tax laws? Those are all situations that if you violate these things or if you have a claim against your company, that can bring a significant fine or a significant loss. So lenders are very interested to see that you are on top of the risk management issue. So we've provided some information about business operations that you want to document in your business plan. We hope this information is helpful to you. Of course, you can reach out to the Small Business Academy or the Center for Professional Development at IU Northwest for more assistance. Thank you for watching. Good luck in your business endeavors.